facilitate the transfer and preservation of the knowledge in production of quality handmade items for sustainable livelihood and well-being of vulnerable groups. Your Excellency, and economic empowerment, today as we are gathered here, we are saying thank you for supporting women economic development for the last 15 years. We will be celebrating our 15th year in November, and we are inviting all of you. We are proud to say today we have been able to reach and transform lives of 150,000 women in 39 counties of this country through joyful women organization that organized in 11,000 groups, revolving over 2 billion Kenya shillings. Your Excellency, our target as Mama Doing Good is to cover all the 47 counties before the end of this year. Based on the theme of this year International Women's Day, Digital, Innovation and Technology for Gender Equality, the Mama Doing Good is also working on digitalization program to enhance organization efficiency and operations, in order also to ensure that women can be able to trade across the country, regionally and globally. Through capacity building livelihood, we aim to enhance knowledge and skills of 2.5 million women in 47 counties through personal finance, business planning, leadership skills, social skills, and financial management. Through digitalization, we also want to enhance best knowledge and practices for sharing information, as well as leveraging trends across Africa and globally, targeting the 2.5 million women. Trade and market is key essential to ensure that for women economic empowerment to succeed and address the current degraded environmental ecosystem biodiversity, environmental and climate change is one of the paramount directorates, and it's of key importance. Currently, over 6 million Kenyans are affected directly by the worst drought that has never been experienced in this country for the last 40 years. In fact, 80% of those affected are women and children. Women have no food to feed the children, no water to improve sanitation hygiene, and the agriculture, which is a source of income for women in table banking, has greatly been affected. Yes, we need to address the climate change problem holistically and together, leaving no one behind for the benefit of this great country of ours, for Africa and globally. And this is why the Directorate of Climate and Environment Action is of key importance. Objective in this directorate is to inspire women-led action that reduce the vulnerable of climate events and improve adaptivity of society to climate shocks through economy, green and blue economy. We want to focus on agroforestry to support the National Tree Restoration Program to increase the current forest cover from 8.3% to 30% by 2032. We are supporting His Excellency the President, the Commander-in-Chief of Armed Forces, Dr. William Ruto, initiative to grow 15 billion trees by 2032, out of which 5 billion trees will be grown by 2027. As the Office of the First Lady, through Mama Doing Good, we have taken an ambitious target of 500 million trees, majority of which will be fruit and trees, so that we can be able to increase and put money in the pocket of women. We are calling all the stakeholders gathered here today to join hands with Mama Doing Good to achieve this great vision for transforming our country to restore it to the previous environmental glory like it was 40, 50 years ago. Madam PS, we would like to partner with Prison Department and Mama Doing Good to do a forestation program in Kakamega Forest, which is one of the UNESCO heritage forests in Africa. And Her Excellency, Mama Rachel Ruto, has adopted 500 acres in this forest. Your partnership and support will be appreciated. We also want to partner with Prison Department in conservation through establishing nursery seedlings across all prisons in Kenya to achieve the 15 billion tree growing initiative. For us to be able also to give alternative source of energy to the women. As we grow trees so that then we reduce the deforestation, we're also focusing on renewable energy, clean energy solutions that include solar, biogas, improved cooking stove vehicles so that we can offer alternative source of energy to the women. Through environmental conservation and restoration to promote health of the nation, we also want to nurture and empower runners as agents of change for environmental conservation and protection. So we are doing this through Mazingira Award that will be launching in April, and we are all humbly inviting you to participate and support Mama Doing Good to achieve this greater vision. Circular and entrepreneurial enterprise, green enterprise, is also key among our programs within environmental and climate change. As we are aware, according to the FAO report 2021, 30% of the food goes into waste in our tables. We want to convert that into meaningful use so that we can restore our environment and ensure that women have income. We want to do this through promoting black soldier farming. We are all aware that we are net importer of honey in this country. With the 2.5 million that we are targeting, we want to be a net exporter of honey. It's doable. And it also requires less resources. Lastly, Your Excellency, is faith diplomacy. And this is a directorate where objective to promote family and national values for social, spiritual, and mental transformation. We have family values, massive works, youth outreach program, and music service as some of the programs we are promoting. Your Excellency, the foundation of any community and a country to be strong families. Family with virtues will enhance community, country, and global integrity. We need to work with religious leaders. We need to work with other leaders to develop the national family values. We also need to pray for our families and for our nation to promote the culture of handwork, respect, and true patriotism through heart of compassion. And this is what we are trying to achieve through Faith and Diplomacy Directorates. Your Excellency, we want to promote citizen and preservation of moral fabrics of our society, to enhance citizen knowledge and adherence to the family and national values as embodied in our Constitution, as well as to enhance passive and diversity through holistic transformation approach. We want to achieve that through spiritual teaching. We also want Madam PS to partner with prison department to promote the fellowship and prayer ministry, support community, and transform the society. Your Excellency, through the droughts, so many Kenyans, so many runners have been affected, especially the ASO areas. Currently, 2.5 million Kenyans runners are not in school, majority in ASO areas. We also want to work on school feeding program that is sustainable, so that our children can be able to be retained in school. Through Mercy Emergency and Drought-Resistant Program, Your Excellency, we have been able to feed over 40,000 families in affected counties. We also want to request other partners present to work with us through emergency and disaster program to achieve the vision to feed our country. And lastly, as we are gathered here today, we know our many youth have lost hope. They have been engaged in illegal activities. Schools have not been exempted. Through our youth outreach program, we want to take the schools ministry to school. We want to mentor the young people through our excellency, so that we build a God-fearing generation of responsible youth with uplift morals. And we want to increase the knowledge of youth on moral values and skills through mentorship and raising responsible God-fearing generations throughout our schools. Thank you so much. God bless you. God bless Kenya. And I wish you all a happy International Women's Day.
Thank you so much, Director Mama Doing Good, and doing it good all the way. We are now testimonials. We will have Anne Birunji and Damaris Musau. Kindly walk forward.
Your Excellency, the First Lady, Mama Rachel Ruto, our Senator, Gloria, our PS, Madam Mary Muthoni, our Deputy Commissioner General of Prisons, Madam Florence Omondi, all protocol observed. My name is Anne Birunji, and happy International Women's Day. I'm here to speak on behalf of my fellow inmates on the benefits of what we used to call cross-stitch, and I am privileged to be representing my fellow inmates, and I'm also privileged to be one of the beneficiaries. Cross-stitch, Your Excellency, allow me to give a brief history of cross-stitch for those of our guests who don't know about it. In 2016, Her Excellency visited Langata Women Prison and introduced us to cross-stitch, and by that time when she brought it on board, actually she showed us her first piece. And the first piece that she did so many years ago, maybe around 20-something, around that time, she'll be able to tell us. It was so beautiful, and it was simply unimaginable. And as she explained to us, what really captured our thoughts as women is that she told us that her daughter is the one who gave a suggestion that this project should be brought to prisons. Your Excellency, we've never forgotten about that, and we really appreciate. The benefits of cross-stitch are so many, and allow me to share with you just briefly a few of them. First of all, for every time we sit to do the stitching, it is so wonderful because we start by prayer, hence inviting God in our midst. So we always pray, Your Excellency. Then it is also therapeutical. Every time we sit down to stitch, it has some kind of healing in our brains, you understand? Yeah, so the healing of it is so wonderful, we don't know what we can say about it. It helps us release stress. As we all know, being behind bars as women, as mothers, it's not easy. So every time we sit down to stitch, our stress levels definitely will go down. And it also helps us bond positively with each other. It's like we become sisters. It's like we become like a family, because for each piece that we share together, as we stitch together, I'm able to identify if my sister is okay or she's not okay. So in the process, we bond positively, and it is very good. It also helps us enhance discipline in the prisons, because this is a privilege that everybody would want to be associated with cross-stitch. So in the process, it also makes work easier for our officers. So it enhances discipline in the prison. It keeps us busy, because we all know an idle mind is a devil's workshop. So that is the best part of it. And Your Excellency, I cannot forget to say that it is an income-generating project. When we stitch these pieces, we are paid. And like Your Excellency, we watched keenly as you hosted the First Lady of US, Jill Biden, and you were talking about table banking. We watched it because of the prison reforms, we have televisions in our wards. Yeah, so we watched keenly as you talked with Jill Biden, Her Excellency, and I noted what she said. She said, if you empower a woman financially, you have empowered a community, you have empowered a family, because a woman will spend her money on the family, and that is what I think cross-stitch is all about. We appreciate that so much. Yes, as being mothers, Your Excellency, the money that we get out of cross-stitch, we do not just spend it just like that. As it is said, we have children at home. We have been able to pay for our children's school fees through the monies that we've gotten out of cross-stitch. We have been able to buy them gifts. We have been able to send them gifts for their Christmases, to celebrate their birthdays. We have been able to embrace them as mothers and let them know that even though we are behind bars, we still care and we are still their mothers. Cross-stitch has helped us raise our self-esteem, because, Your Excellency, truly speaking, being connected to the First Lady is not an everyday thing. So being that we are connected to this project, it raises our self-esteem. Standing here, even as inmates in the midst of this, it raises our esteem, Your First Lady. Cross-Stitch has brought international visitors to our prisons because, Your Excellency, I remember there are some visitors who have come here, your visitors that have come to prison, and they've seen the work that we have done, and they left happy. And that is so good because we are able to also understand and even give ourselves hope, knowing that people appreciate the work we do, especially as inmates, knowing that we can do beautiful things. So we are so glad about that, and it has also exposed us to the outside world, Your Excellency. I remember, Your Excellency, some time back when there was an exhibition, because of the prison reforms, we were also able to get out of the walls and go to Kalen, Your Excellency, if you remember that exhibition, and it was very beautiful. It was good for a change. It helps us also appreciate nature, because for every piece that we look at, most of the pieces are about nature. It helps us appreciate nature, appreciate God, appreciate color, and appreciate art. It is so healing. It is so beautiful. So we appreciate that. It has also helped us become a unifying factor. Cross-Stitch, as somebody said, it's not a matter of, it doesn't choose who is supposed to do it. It doesn't matter which age you are. It doesn't matter which nationality, which tribe, or which religion you are. We all sit together and knit together, slowly by slowly. We knit together slowly by slowly. As it is said, we knit every day and every piece from the bottom and going upwards. We knit and stitch together every minute and every moment going upwards. Thank you very much, Your Excellency.
Okay, thank you. Your Excellency, First Lady Madam Rachel Ruto, Madam Senator Gloria, the Honorable PS, the Deputy Commissioner General of Prison, and all protocol observed. Good morning. Habari zenu. Nashukuru kwa hii nafasi ambayo nimepewa nikaweze kuongea kuhusu karakana siku zinjazo ama in the future. Ya kwanza, kama vile Your Excellency mwenzangu ametangulia na kusema kuna fedha ambazo tulikuwa tunapata kushona hiki kitambaa. Tunaomba Your Excellency ukaweze kutufungulia a saving account pale nje, mahali ambapo tutaweza kuaccess loans tukitoka njela, na mahali ambapo hizi fedha tukitoa zitaweza kutusaidia kujiimarisha kimaisha. Ya pili, employment. Kwa sababu mama yetu tunakupenda sana na tumeshikana na wewe pia kupitia hii karakana, tunaomba Your Excellency ukaweze kutupa kazi tukitoka njela. Sana sana kwa wengine tukitoka hii njela hatuna mahali pa kwenda, lakini kwa sababu tumejuana na wewe mama yetu, tunaomba tukitoka nje ukaweze kutupa kazi. Kile kingine Your Excellency, tungeomba ukaweze kutufungulia pale nje halfway homes, mahali ambapo kwa sababu wengi wakitoka hapa gerezani hawana mahali pa kukaa for the first 2 to 3 months. Tukitoka gerezani mahali ambapo tunaweza keti kabla tunjimarishe kimaisha Your Excellency, mahali ambapo tutakaa tuweze kuwa tunafanya kazi tukiwa pale, kwa sababu tuko na imani utatupa kazi, tufanye hiyo kazi tukiwa pale. Kisha pia utaweza kutuobserve tukiwa kwa hizo homes, tabia zetu uone kama tumeimarika, na uone kama unaweza kuwa na imani na sisi unapotupa kazi. Kile kingine ni expansion of mess. Tukiangalia huku ndani, mahali ambapo tunaishi kule ndani ya hii Langata Women Prison, kuna mahali ambapo tulikuwa tunaketi tukishona hizi vitambaa. Tulikuwa na challenge kidogo wakati wa masika, mvua ikinyesha tunajipata tuna crowd pale mess, mahali ambapo hatukuwa tunatoshea. Wakati wa mvua pia ikiwa kali tunatembea kwenye kivuli tukitafuta mahali tukae tukaweza kushona hiki kitambaa. Your Excellency, tunakuomba kwa heshima kubwa na kwa kunyenyekea kwingi, kama unaweza tunjengea hiyo mess ikapanuliwe ikuwe kubwa, ili tukifika nyakati kama hizo, wakati wa masika, wakati wa mvua, tunaweza kama mahali hapa, kwa sababu tuko na maono kubwa in future kuhusu hiki kitambaa, tukaweze kuzishona kwa wingi na kwa muda mfupi. Asanteni sana.
Thank you so much. Tumpigie makofi tena tafadhali. Asanteni. Looks like if we put Mama Doing Good and Karakana together, then the correctional services will do really great. Sinikweli, under the leadership and the guidance of Mama who is here today with us. Your Excellency, now with your permission, allow me to invite the Deputy Commissioner General of Prisons, Madam Florence Somundi, to continue with the rest of the program. Karibu, Madam. Tumpigie makofi tafadhali. Asante.
Your Excellency, Mama Rachel Ruto, the First Lady of the Republic of Kenya, our nominated Senator, Gloria Orioba, the Principal Secretary, and the Principal Secretary is present. Allow me, Your Excellency, to adopt the protocols. Thank you, Your Excellency, for allowing. Today is a great day. Welcome to the Kenya Prison Service, Your Excellency. God is good, and all the time. Thank you very much. Your Excellency, today is like no other day because Mama is here. Allow me, Your Excellency, to introduce quickly the leadership of the Kenya Prison Service, the people who have made it possible for the girls you saw here to be who they are, the people who backstop national security. Unfortunately, Your Excellency, they are behind. I want to start with the Director, Gender, NGOs and Sports, Senior Assistant Commissioner General of Prisons, Kennedy Aluda. Thank you. The Commandant, Prison Staff Training College, SCGP, Angas Masoro. The Regional Commander, Nairobi area, Madewa. We are in his jurisdiction. Thank you. Our Director Logistics, Nicholas Maswai. Thank you. Our Director Prison Enterprise, James Arapto. The Deputy Director Human Resource, Joel Atuti. Thank you very much. The Director Operations, David Kilundo. Thank you very much. Director Rehabilitation and Welfare, Bishop Omusula. Thank you very much. We have Deputy Directors present. We have Kones, Asante Sana. We have James Gathanga. Thank you very much. Yes, then we have other senior officers and officers in charge of Nairobi stations. I want to start with Community Maximum, George Dianga. Thank you very much. He's also present with us. We have the officer in charge of Nairobi Medium, Mr. Kinoti. Thank you very much. The officer in charge, Nairobi West Prison, Arab Kemei. Asante Sana. We have the officer in charge, Jamhuri. Are you here? Thank you very much. We also have the other senior officers present. Musimame tu muwave to Her Excellency aone vile mmemkaribisha. Nyote tu kabisa from all. Your Excellency, these are just a sample. Asante Sana. Then we also have our distinguished clients. Warembo mpo? Warembo mpo? Shangilia Her Excellency. Your Excellency, those are your girls. They couldn't wait. It was difficult controlling this crowd here. In the morning, we literally fought with Wanjohi and the Principal Secretary because everybody wanted to line up and receive you, Your Excellency, because they are happy to have you here to celebrate the International Women's Day with you. Your Excellency, this is not your first time to be in Langata Women Prison. Neither is it your first time to be in the Kenya Prison Service. You have made a difference in the lives of many people. Today, we are happy to be associated with you as we celebrate this year's theme of digital innovation and technology for gender equality. During your tour of the prison facilities, you were able to see how we are connecting this with this theme, and you actually witnessed firsthand the impact that you've made in the lives of our girls. You could see your footprints and your footsteps. And today, as we celebrate Mama doing good and doing it the right way, we welcome you to come and partner with us anew, so that now we are going to do it the right way. The girls have been here. They have been able to say what they want. They've said it all. I do not want to repeat it. We have already had our child care policy. I know that our principal secretary is going to speak about that. But if you want if you want something said, ask a man. If you want something said, ask. And if you want something done, ask. And if you want to Mama doing it right, Her Excellency. If you want Mama doing it right and doing it the right way, ask her. Thank you very much. Greetings from our Commissioner General of Prisons, Brigadier Retired John Warioba, who is out on official duty. He really wished to be here, but he was already out of the country. Receive her greetings, Your Excellency. Greetings from the entire Kenya Prisons fraternity. They all wanted to be in Langata Women Prison. I do not know how to save myself because they're asking, why did you choose Langata Women Prison? A lot of greetings from the women behind bars. We are here today to tell their story and telling it one stitch at a time. Thank you very much. I want to welcome nominated Senator Gloria Warioba to say very brief remarks and welcome the Principal Secretary to continue with the program. Thank you.
Your Excellency, Mama Rachel Ruto, all PSs and all protocols observed. Good afternoon. I think it's afternoon. Bwana asifiwe. Bwana asifiwe huko nyuma. I don't have a written speech, but as I was sitting there, I was reminded of Australia. I talk about Australia because mumesikia mahali inaitwa Australia. The country was actually founded by prisoners. I was reminded of a book that I was reading, and I was thinking to myself, let me not, nisikuje na kizungu nyingi, I just have a small message. Some years back, there was a governor called Arthur Phillip. Kulikuwa na wafungwa wengi huko Britain na wapi, and every time they were thinking the prisons are too small, they didn't want to expand, so they started saying now watakuwa wanatuma huko mbali, in some faraway land, which happened to be Australia. So the first ship actually set with 850 prisoners and a governor called Arthur Phillip, and they set base. So I was thinking, why Australia? Because at that time there was nothing, there was no development. Hakuwa na kitu. Ni kama munatuma huko kwa wilderness. You reform, and then you do what? You come back if you reform. And what did these 850 prisoners do? They built Australia. You understand? They built Australia. And slowly by slowly, kukaanza kuwa na development, ikaanza kukua. Nowadays even Kenyans are trying to go to Australia, right? For greener pastures. So I was thinking to myself, you might be in Langata Women's, but this is your Australia. Sindio? You know, we have a gift as women. God has given us a gift. I'm sorry for the gentlemen in the house. Today is International Women's Day. Just allow me to talk about women. We have a gift as women. It's called resiliency. Kwa Kiswahili inaitwa nini? Udhabi? Yani, anytime when you fall, anytime when something happens to you as a woman, there's that spirit inside you inakuambia tu amka, you need to move on. Amka, you need to move on. Anytime you're met with a challenge, perhaps you are doing something, kitu ikafanyika, as a woman there's something that God gave us, and what you do, you always, something pushes you to wake up and move on. It's called resiliency. The ability to get up and move after failing, after falling, after, meeting challenges. And I want to tell you on this International Women's Day that every woman sitting in this tent has got the gift of resiliency. You might not know it, but you have the gift. And there is a reason that you are here in our Australia. Sindio, There's a reason you're here. You might be here for 2 years, 10 years, life. Just know that there's a reason that you're here and that you have a gift of resiliency, and so you must actually form an Australia within the confines that you are in. Amen? Some of us might be sitting here because we are not confined, but we are in prison in our minds. We are in prison in our lives. Munanipata? We actually are struggling with so much we cannot live out of our prisons. Whether that prison is financial, whether that prison is whatever it is. Some people are sitting here, they are walking free, but they are in prison. But the one thing that you have today, and I want to speak to the women, is use that gift of resiliency. Make something out of your time in this, your Australia. By the time you're leaving this Australia, for those who are leaving, let it be a legacy that you have left behind. It doesn't have to be big. It can be just the spirit of kindness that you're exercising with your fellow prisoners. Munanielewa? Build your own Australia in Langata Women's. I want to wish you a happy International Women's Day. Asante sana. And I only had one task, I almost didn't do it. I want to welcome our Honorable PS, Karibu sana. I almost forgot the one task. Karibu sana.
Thank you. Bwana asifiwe. God is good. Sema karakana. Sema karakana. Hey. You know, it is because of the hand of God that we are here today. That is why I cannot fail to say karakana. Your Excellency, our Mama, the First Lady of the Republic of Kenya, Mama Rachel Ruto, my PSs, my colleague PSs, I actually have noted that one of them has been made the the caretaker of the other departments. So I will give you 1 minute to say hi to the crowd. You are distinguished between Ismail, the PS for mining, and the PS for diaspora. That is important, isn't it? Yes. So PSs, before I go on with my speech, Roslyn, please say hi to Correctional Services Department. Sure.
Good afternoon. Really nice to be here. My name is Roslyn. I am the PS for Diaspora Affairs. I will not.
I'm the PS for Diaspora Affairs. My name is Roslyn Jogu. I'm very glad to be here. I feel particularly honored to be here because I grew up Kwakambi. My father worked for the prison service for many, many years, so I feel very much at home. Thank you very much.
Huyu PS amenyang'anywa kiti, imepewa Ismail. Sasa waambie jina yako.
First Lady, our protocols observed. My name is Elijah Mwangi. I'm the PS State Department for Mining. I don't know why my brother took that position, but PS, we have so many women in the sector of mining, experiencing quite a number of challenges. I felt that I need to come here and celebrate with the women, because we have been meeting them, trying to talk to them to appreciate the role and space for women in the sector. Thank you and good afternoon.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency, our First Lady, Mama Rachel, and all protocols observed. My name is Ismail Maalim. I am PS Youth Affairs and the Arts in the Ministry of Youth Affairs, the Arts and Sport. And I also came to celebrate with you today because of the creative work that we do, and in the ministry we present that sector. Thank you very much.
So, Your Excellency, those are my fellow PSs. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Hi, ladies. Wamama, hi. Hii siku ni yetu. Sema hii siku ni yetu.
Na leo ni leo. Na leo ni Karakana. I am very humbled to join you, Mama, on this special day, International Women's Day. And as a State Department, the State Department for Correctional Services has 2 units. And one is the Kenya Prison Service, and the other one is the Probation and Aftercare. And maybe because the whole correctional department is here, anybody who was not mentioned, please, Director Probation and Aftercare. We have, I can see the legal, please stand and wave if you are left out. So that is the other part of Correctional Services Department. And they are joined at the hip, the prison and the probation and aftercare. Once somebody comes to prison, is sentenced, by the time they exit, we have probation officers who are able to take them through and help them integrate in the society, which is very important. I would like to appreciate you for choosing to celebrate with us and show these beautiful women how much we love them, how much we care. As we all know, women wear so many caps in their day-to-day lives, and therefore we require to support the community. I know I have this written speech, but I'm not sure I'm going to follow it because what is coming through my mind is very different. When somebody is sentenced and is contained in those 4 walls, one thing you must realize that is the biggest punishment that you can ever give a human being. And our department is not meant to punish. Our mandate is to correct an individual. An end-to-end value chain is supposed to happen. And that is where Karakana is coming through. Because when somebody enters prison today, we will welcome them, we will help them settle down, but between 6 a.m. in the morning and the time you go to sleep, what are they doing? You may leave them unattended, and the mind of an individual swirls around. So the very best thing, one, show them empathy. And Your Excellency, we are about to launch a very ambitious program across the country. 1 prisoner, 1 bed, 1 mattress. Because we don't want people sleeping on the floor anymore in this country. If you want to change the world, go back and make your bed. We are making our bed. As Correctional Services Department, we have to make our beds. And the only way, before you even come and tell them, let us stitch, how will they stitch when they have mbavu zinauma? Amelala chini. So we will give them beds. And I'm glad that she has come through. Out of the 60,000 mattresses that I need in this country, I have 1,000 already. I'll bring you proper women who are sitting down, who are not in pain, to teach them Karakana. Your Excellency, the theme for this year is Digital. Digital, which talks about innovation and technology for of the International Women's Day. We appreciate you, Mama, because we know this is going to go a long way. It is true what DCGP has talked about. In fact, the women across the country, Nyeri women, Embu women, Shimolatewa women, Eldoret women, they are all waiting for this. It's unfortunate we could not load everybody here, so we will do mini launches with your help, Your Excellency, in those other entities, so that they can also feel that we have their empathy and we love them. And we love you so much. Please know that. That's why we are here today. Your Excellency, I am sure you have witnessed
some young children in here. And really, this is a topic I've spoken about since I was honored by His Excellency to handle this unit, Correctional Services Department. And these children are below the ages of 4. These women most likely have left other children at home. So the money that they are going to earn from the Karakana is going to help those other children at home. We don't want to take them to children's home. We have requested the judiciary to fast track the cases of these mothers. There's no child who has committed a crime. Yes, kuteleza sio, kuanguka, wako hapa, lakini those children who have accompanied them, some have been born here. You've seen it. A few months old, a few days old, infants, and they are here. And in collaboration with our one prisoner, one bed, one mattress, we shall do one cot, one baby. This is going to go a long way. Children are very vulnerable to diseases, communicable diseases, mannerism, and all that. I'm glad we have our child policy, which is active, and we are working very closely at the multi-sectoral level to ensure that it is implemented, and we ensure that these offenders who have children, their children are taken care of, and we make the society a better place. That child who sees gruesome images of just ladies in uniform, when she goes out there, it can torture her forever. So, Your Excellency, in addition, we are advocating for alternative dispute resolution. It's not everything that must be taken to the authorities. Kama mtu amekukosea hapa kwa neighbor, why do you have to take that person to the authority? Why don't you sit down and solve that issue? We are overcrowded in our institutions. Remember, they don't come with a fee. So the government is feeding the prisoners every day, the offenders, I don't want to call them prisoners, the offenders every day, clothing them, and all the other amenities that comes in place. That could be the fee that we'll give you, probably, to enhance your HELA, you know, the program you launched the other day, the Hustler Fund. It is because of me and you. We are not sitting down. We are not communicating. We are not talking to each other. I've pleaded with Ngao. I've pleaded with religious institutions that before we start talking to the person who has offended, can we talk to ourselves out there? Of course, we know those who are in prison, who are contained today. We know them. They come from our villages. They are our neighbors. Have you ever talked to them that they could change? It starts from there. Our society is rotting because of individualistic approach to issues. We must come together. What was the purpose of Nyumba Kumi again? Was it not to sort out those disputes? Then why are we having double the number in prison? Ladies and gentlemen, as we launch Karakana today, I am giving you an appeal from Correctional Services Department that me and you are going to campaign that these ladies here will go out there and we will teach them Karakana even when they are out there. We don't have to teach them when they are contained in these four walls. It is actually much better when we can take tea, soda, when we are out there and laugh. So on this International Women's Day, it is the day to decide and make a decision as an individual. Anybody who is here, we are many enough to ensure that this message goes out there
and we are able to work as one. Kenya is a beautiful country, and we can only make it better if me and you take our responsibility. Correctional department is a collective service department, and our mandate is a collective service. I'm requesting you that you join hands. I know Her Excellency is already sold out. She'll join me through faith diplomacy. Through faith diplomacy. So your request is accepted. And finally, I want to assure the inmates that all is not lost, my dear sisters, because there is life after this place. There is a brighter future for you. Now that we have more partners who are coming on board. We started with the bakery, you're earning. Our model is really working. And same case to Karakana. The few shillings, the few coins that you're saving is gonna help you out there. You'll find when we have prepared the ground for you, we will talk to your village mates, to your estate mates, so that they accept you. We do not want letters coming from left, right, when you're released and people say they don't want you. We will go out there and plead on your behalf. So please, shape up. Okay? Shape up. I would like to encourage you, take up the skills. It will help you one day. Take up the skills. And as you continue to review your cases, today the Power of Mercy operates online. The pardon officer, I don't know if you're here, please look into their issue. If they are okay and we are okay with the behavior, kindly request on your behalf so that when His Excellency is giving pardon to some of the officers, some of them may be part of that. So with those few remarks, Your Excellency, it's my singular duty and honor to welcome the chief guest, Her Excellency, the First Lady of the Republic of Kenya, Rachel Ruto, to give her address. Welcome, Your Excellency.
Thank you. You may be seated. Principal Secretary is present today, led by our PS Correctional Services, Mrs. Mary Mudhuni, nominated Senator, Honorable Gloria Orwaba, the Deputy Commissioner General of Prisons, Florence Omondi, Anne Ireri, CEO FIDA, Anastasia Kimtai, Managing Director, KCB Kenya, the lovely Langata Prisons Community. By United Nations in 1975. The theme for this year's celebration is Cross-Stitch International, whose name has since changed to Karakana. Before I proceed, allow me to convey greetings from His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Dr. William Samoei Ruto. Our partnership with Langata Women's Prison started on 19th December 2016, when we came here to launch Cross-Stitch after the Prisons Department requested that my office take table banking to the women in prisons. Just to explain a little bit, like Anne said, my daughter got the information that would bring Cross-Stitch to the women behind bars. But after discussing with her and talking to the prison department that time, we realized that table banking would not work. So we thought that would bring Cross-Stitch, which we did in 2016. Our visit reminds me of various scriptures that describe our activities here. Matthew 25:36, I was naked and you clothed me. I was sick and you visited me. I was in prison, and you came to me. Hebrews 13:3. Continue to remember those in prison as if you were together with them in prison, and those who were mistreated as if you yourselves were suffering. I love the scriptures because they give us practical advice and solutions for every situation. As Christians, we are called to be hearers and doers of the word. This is why, for me, Karakana Project is very close to my heart, as it speaks to my commitment to do what God requires of me. Since 2016, Karakana Project has trained over 1,500 women who have produced quality artifacts that have earned them 5.15 million Kenya shillings. Cross-stitching is a source of hope for the women in prison. It gives them dignity, a livelihood, respect from family, and a feeling of achievement. This also contributes to mental well-being and an income-generating indigenous skill. Other benefits of cross-stitch include an improvement in cognitive, emotional, and social well-being. It is therapeutic with a neurochemical effect on the brain. By decreasing stress hormones, it is relaxing, keeps one busy, and gives a sense of accomplishment. Our relaunch today is two ways: to increase the number of beneficiaries in the 5 women prisons we are already working with. That is Langata, Nakuru, Shimolatewa, Kakamega, and Kitale women prisons. And second, to grow our reach to all the 44 women prisons in the country, holding a total of 6,000 women. We want to expand Karakana, thank you. We want to expand Karakana offering to include other forms of creative art like crochet, bead making, basketry, needlework, knitting, and more, just like I've seen when I did my tour in the workshops. We encourage each one of you to take up one of these creative arts. Ladies and gentlemen, when you think about life as a journey, a stitch can mean an event in our path of life. Cross-stitching is a reminder there is a bigger picture, that all the elements of our experiences are just part of a whole beautiful composition. And I thought just demonstrate a little bit about cross-stitch for some of us maybe that are not very familiar with the cross-stitch. So when you look at this piece of cross-stitch, thank you, Maureen. This is how let me just do this. This is how the piece of cross-stitch comes. Thank you, PS. So put it this way. I'm sure you can see that. This is the original piece that comes, and I must say that cross-stitch has been simplified these days. The days when we did cross-stitch, when I was in my 20s, it just used to be on a white fabric. So you had to translate from a pattern and bring it to this. I mean, it was very difficult. One of the biggest project that I did that time was the Psalms 23, which had 60 different colors of thread. I remember it took me 6 months of committing at least 3 to 4 hours every day of doing it. And I just didn't do it once. That is what I shared with the women when I came. I just didn't do it once. I did it actually twice. So you can see the commitment. So when you look at this, it almost looks like nothing. I don't know, maybe because the yellow is so much, you can see what it is. But the ladies, I'm sure you understand what I'm talking about. So you put the right threads, as you see there. And then once you finish, this piece of material that has so many colors becomes this. And so what happens, because it is, they've used water paints, you know, the yellow and the green and the whatever colors you see there are actually water paints. So once you convert and put the right colors, like it was yellow on the other side. Maureen, just hold that for a minute, please. You can see, I'll just use the big part that you see. You see the yellow, isn't it? So in the yellow, you put black color of thread. You can see. And those are the colors of thread. And so once you have finished the work, that would take maybe even up to 3 months of putting like 2 hours every day. Yeah, and I know our sisters are here and they know what it means to do this. So you wash it clean, and then we do value addition like what you see in this frame. So we translate it from that is formless, that you cannot even understand where, you know, whether it is A or B or what. You do it patiently, wash it, and we do value addition. Thank you so much, PS and Maureen. And just to say that as I encourage our sisters behind bars today, you're in prison today, aren't you? While you're doing cross-stitch, you do participation. I know that many of the projects that we have brought to you, you have not done it alone. You have done with your sisters. And then you see the process that I like the testimonies that we've received from some of you, that you have learned that it's not good to take shortcuts. If you do a shortcut with that cross stitch, like instead of putting black, you put green, and then that product will not come like that. And even just learning here that the things that have brought us here sometimes have been shortcuts, that in life we need to go through a process. You see the progress from the beginning to the end. And while doing this, you have to persevere. There is a lot of perseverance. And you really have to, you know, be patient, because it will not take you just a few months to do that kind of thing. And also the benefit that we have seen, as we've said, is that there is providence. You know, the money that you get from cross-stitching has been able to help you, at least help your children. And usually we say that even if we do this and we don't involve God, it is all in vain. So prayer is very critical. And even, you know, this is relevant to everybody, each one of us, not just our clients or our sisters, but each one of us, you know, we need to be patient. We need to progress in what we are doing. We need to involve God. We need to be persevering people in everything that we are doing. So I just want to say that you're here today. You are that original piece that has not been washed. But let's pick the lessons that we are learning here, that the day the Lord enables us to leave these gates, we can be different people and we can transform our communities even as we go back to the communities. And I believe that that day is coming. I want to encourage you never to lose hope. We need to be resilient, like our senator has told us. Never look down, never give up, never cry inside that blanket thinking that life, you know, will not add up to anything. I just want to promise you, I have met your sisters that did cross-stitch and they walked out of this gate one day. I want to say that someday you'll get out of this gate because the prison people have done a good job. So I thought I would just explain how the process takes place. I wish to thank all the stakeholders who have actually participated to make today's event a success. Langata Women Prison Community for your dedication to this partnership. KCB Group, FIDA, who have provided legal clinics, and AAR for the medical consultation services. With those few remarks, I officially relaunch Karakana project. Thank you so much, and may the Lord bless you.
Thank you so much. Let's continue appreciating our Excellency kindly. Asante sana. We want to give it back to the band. Thank you, madam. We can just resume.